20 months. 20. That is how long it's been since I have been on an airplane. To give you a little perspective on this, between the years 2010 and 2019, there were only 5 months that I didn't take a flight. So to be in one place for 20 months, well, it's been a little bit of an adventure, but that just means I am that much more excited to be here in Atlanta, Georgia, where I'm actually only here for like 8 more hours. We're at the end of the trip. And so I've been trying to figure out what's a good video that I could shoot, and it dawned on me. I should give you an update on my niche site, Slightly Pretentious. So if you don't know what Slightly Pretentious is, this was kind of my COVID project. I'm like, I'm going to start a website around cocktails and my quest to go to the top 100 bars in the world and then kind of see where it goes. And going into December of last year, we had our biggest month ever. We were making a ton of progress and, well, then some stuff happened. So in today's video, we're gonna talk about whether or not Slightly Pretentious is making any money. Are people going to it? Is it working? Is it not working? And give you some tips for starting a niche site of your own in 2022. So if that sounds good to you, let's do it. Okay, real quick, before we go into the video, one of my favorite things about staying in fancy hotels like this is the coffee. So I feel like this video needs coffee. Okay, we're set. Shield your ears for a second. I know you hate the swallow, the mic. I've heard it all before. We're all good now. I'm here at the St. Regis Hotel in Atlanta, Georgia, which is quite possibly one of the fanciest hotels I've ever stayed in. So you might be wondering, why are you staying in such a bougie hotel? Well, it all has to do with Slightly Pretentious. So let me just give you a quick rundown to let you know what's going on with this site. So I started Slightly Pretentious in the beginning of 2020 in order to document my journey to go to the top 100 bars in the world. So we're having all these crazy experiences. We've been to 59 of the top 100, so you can imagine there's some pretty cool stories that came out of it. So I wanted, just for posterity, to start a blog, start telling some of those stories. So a few months go on, and I start writing blog posts, and I start sharing my stories, and something kind of dawns on me. It's that nobody is searching for top 100 bars. If you Google American Bar Savoy, it might get 250 searches a month. But if you Google how to make an old fashioned, it's getting hundreds of thousands of searches a month. So I started thinking, if I actually want this thing to, make money, which I kind of do, if I'm going to put all the time into it, then I need to not just share about the bars, I need to share cocktail recipes as well. And so I started sharing cocktail recipes. Manhattan, Martini, Negroni, Old Fashioned, you name it. Started getting a little bit of traction. Okay, this could work. So then I started thinking about, okay, what type of affiliate stuff could I do in the cocktail space? So I wrote best cocktail books, best cocktail smoker, best bar tools, and I started getting a little bit more traffic. Started even making a little bit of affiliate revenue. And that's kind of where we left things at the end of 2020. December of 2020 was our biggest month ever. We had gone from next to no traffic in March of 2020, like 1,000 views, up to 35,300 views by December. So I'm feeling pretty good. Things are getting going. We got approved for Mediavine ads, so I could start running display ads on the site and start making a little bit of passive income that way. And then in January of 2021, I had a baby. Well, I didn't have a baby. My wife had a baby. And all of a sudden, all of my free time, all of my work time went to the things that, were actually making money. Location Rebel, this YouTube channel, Breaking 80, and Slightly Pretentious just kind of went, just kind of disappeared. Ah yes, my traffic taking an absolute nosedive. So over the course of the last 9 months, all of my time has been going to my child and trying to continue to grow Breaking 80 and Location Rebel. But just recently, I've started getting to the point where I was like, you know what? Slightly Pretentious has a lot of potential. We're going into the holidays. I want to try and make the most of it. And so I want to kind of rekindle it and get back into it. So one of the things that I learned with my niche site, and this is kind of a good lesson for you, is that display ads, not all sites are paid equally. So this brings us to our first lesson. So in December of 2020, I got approved for ads and started running display ads on the site. I'm like, sweet, Breaking 80 is crushing it with ads. Slightly Pretentious is going to do a similar thing because it's all about pretentious things and people with money, and so it's just going to work. Nay, that is not the case. So to give you a little perspective, the RPM at Breaking 80 is about $58. That means for every 1,000 impressions, I'm earning around $58. My RPM on Slightly Pretentious, after a month or two of running ads, it was about $9. And considering the site wasn't getting that much traffic and the traffic started to go down, there were days I was literally making only like $1 or $2 a day in ads. Not great. What I learned is that a lot of advertisers don't want to advertise on alcohol-related blog posts, and pretty much the entire site was alcohol-related. So I started thinking, okay, I've got this pretentious hobby, we're making a little bit of affiliate income. What other pretentious hobbies could fit under the Slightly Pretentious brand? Luxury hotels. So I've always kind of had this affinity for luxury hotels. I almost went to school for hotel management, for resort management. It's just ever since I was a kid, it's something that I've been kind of enamored by. And so in all my travels, often we stay at some pretty cool places. So I was like, you know what? It doesn't really fit the niche. And if I were advising someone on how to create a niche site, I would tell them not to do this. But I was like, let's throw in some hotels. Let's see what happens. Let's see if people are into it. So I started writing some hotel related content. So some of the hotels I'd stayed in the past, I'd already photographed. I'd done videos on some of them. Some of you OG subscribers may remember Location 180 Digs. So I want to welcome you to the first edition of Location 180 Digs.
What's up, Location 180 Digs?
So welcome to Villa 21 at the Bali Sentosa Villas. I'm going to give you a little tour, MTV Crib style of my pad, and I'm probably going to come off like a complete arrogant jerk. Yeah, those were the days. Gonna need to rekindle that one. But I had some content. So I was like, all right, let's start writing. And lo and behold, those posts started getting some traffic. But even better than that, those posts were making about 3 times the revenue as the cocktail posts were. So all of a sudden, you know, if you're writing about a St. Regis or a Ritz-Carlton, obviously that's reaching a higher end demographic and advertisers are gonna pay more to reach said demographic. So I was like, all right, maybe we should lean into this a little bit more. So that brings us to right now. I was taking my first trip in 20 months to Reynolds Lake Oconee, which is a Ritz-Carlton property. It was part of a media thing for my golf website. So I was like, all right, staying at a fancy hotel there, can write about it. Let's go to Atlanta for a couple days, find a couple more hotels, we'll write about those and see what happens. One of the things I did recently on the site is I had written about the Ritz-Carlton Half Moon Bay, which is a golf resort on Breaking 80. And so I split that up. Instead of having one post devoted to the golf courses and the hotel, I took the hotel portion of it and I moved it over to Slightly Pretentious. And I wasn't sure what was going to happen. I wasn't sure how it was going to go. But within a week or two, it was ranking and Google Discover picked it up. It was getting traffic and it was making way more money than all of the cocktail posts were. So that led me to want to try and review places like this. This is the St. Regis and it's very fancy. I've got my own butler. Like that, I don't even know what to do with that. I haven't used that service, but it's kind of cool that it exists. So aside from just making me sound like a pretentious, bougie jerk, where are things at now? Well, starting about 6 weeks ago, I started diving back in, creating more content. I started creating articles for classic cocktails. I started creating articles for my own personal cocktails that came up, and I started creating hotel content. And it's working. Yesterday, we had our highest traffic day of the year. Yesterday, the site made $15. I mean, $15 isn't a ton of money in ads, but things are trending in the right direction. People seem to be resonating with the hotel content and they're really enjoying the cocktail content as well. So normally, if I were telling you to start a niche site, I would say, don't go that broad. Don't spread yourself thin. Are you a cocktail site? Are you a travel site? Are you a hotel site? I don't know. But I named it Slightly Pretentious, kind of with the idea that I could take all of my pretentious hobbies and interests and put it all in one place, and there might be people that are gonna resonate with that. So last December, the site made around $1,000, mostly from our affiliate posts for best cocktail books and best cocktail gifts. We started running the ads in January, and our best month, I think we made like $200. But this past month, it's made $300 as we started posting more, and we've shifted some of our content to be about hotels. So moving forward, especially as we go into the rest of November and December, which are usually the highest traffic periods of time for a site like this, I'm really curious to see what happens. I'm going to continue just writing about all of the random things that I'm interested interested in and see if we can actually grow this thing and turn it into something with legs. Because I've been really impressed with how easy it's been to rank and actually start getting traction when I post. I think there's a big lesson here that Google really values consistency. They want you to be posting a couple times a week. They don't want you to disappear for months at a time and not do anything. They want to see that the site is active and getting updated. And as I've started posting more and even going back and updating some of our older stuff, or taking some of my stuff from Breaking 80 that's relevant or Location Rebel that's relevant and directing it over to Slightly Pretentious, Google's taken notice and we've started getting traffic pretty quickly. Moving forward over the course of the next few months, I do have some goals with Slightly Pretentious. I want to beef up some of our affiliate posts. I haven't really done any since I've started jumping back into content. So I'm going to do some keyword research and figure out what people are actually searching for that I might be able to make some money with. I'd also like to potentially redesign the site. I think the site looks pretty good, but as you start getting more content, and especially as I start getting dozens of different cocktail recipes, I want it to be easier to find the stuff that you're looking for. And right now, the navigational structure just doesn't really work very well for helping people do that. I also want Google to be able to crawl it as easy as possible so that it knows how everything is related and that it knows all of the content that we're offering. So I think a light redesign could go a long ways in both helping users navigate the site, but also help search engines navigate it as well. And finally, the last thing is just getting back to being consistent. Post consistent hotel content, post consistent cocktail recipes, post consistent affiliate posts and things like that. I think the biggest problem we had with the site and the reason that it completely fell off the map over the course of the past year was just because I didn't give it any attention. Being a new dad will do that. It wasn't the priority. It's still not necessarily the priority, but it's something that I do want to give a little bit more time and attention because I think it has a lot of potential moving forward. So if you're interested in starting a niche site of your own, I truly believe you can start one around literally any hobby, any interest, and make money with it. Of course, some are easier than others, but if you're really passionate about something, I really believe that others will be too, and you can find a way to monetize that. I actually put together a free niche site guide that helps get you started, tells you everything you need to know about choosing your niche, setting up your site, and getting going with your content so that you can put yourself in a position to make money and start making a living off of something you are passionate about. We cover all of this in our Make Money Blogging course, which is part of Location Rebel Academy as well. So if you really want me to hold your hand and want some of that extra help, then I definitely recommend checking that out. My name is Sean Ogle. I'm the founder of this thing here at Location Rebel, where we teach you how to build online businesses with your words. Whether it's niche sites and blogs like this, freelance writing, you name it. If you want to make money on the internet writing, we're the channel for you. So if you got value out of this video, then thumbs up, subscribe, do all the stuff. I have to check out in T-minus 1 hour and 25 minutes, and I still have a lot of packing to do, despite the fact I kind of got the room a little bit put back together. So I hope you have a fantastic day. We will see you back home in Portland, Oregon here shortly, and I'm looking forward to the next trip. It's time to move forward and get back on the road. I'm excited to see you. I'm excited to do it. We'll see you on the next video. Peace.